Bonsoir guys, so Sunday the 3rd just gone finds us back at Ignition Raceway for the final of the Super Sunday Series, round 6, hosted by Neo and held at Ignition Raceway. Now while the overwhelming majority of people were running the ever popular minis, because they're just awesome, me and a handful of others were persevering with these mega hot hatches and having some fantastically close racing during the course of the past 6 events. So I'm sticking, although there's a load of different car brands now you can choose from, there's Camtech, there's the TWR platform, in the minis now you can run a DDR racing platform. I'm sticking with the Mardave. I swapped to Mardave almost 18 months ago now from Camtech, and I haven't really looked back. I'm still enjoying driving it, loving the hot hatch platform, but I have made changes since the last round. Running this on the last round, it felt really grippy, almost too grippy. I was noticing that it was biting so hard through the corners. I was having lift. It was cocking a leg all the time through some of the corners, which is good from a point of view of, you know, there's loads of positive bite there, but it's not always the fastest way around the corner, and it always made me feel a little bit uneasy as I was going through the corner, whether or not it's gonna bite at some point, grip roll and throw me over, and you know, that's technically now that's my race done. So what I did was I changed from I had really soft springs in at the front to yellow, the medium springs in at the front, and I've gone back to running a Contact 50 on the front, which I wasn't doing last time. I was running some, to be honest, I wasn't 100% sure what it was. It was, I think it was one of the Camtech pink mediums or softs. I'm not sure, but it felt it just had too much grip. The back, I've also changed. I was running Contact 37s and I've gone back to Pro Grip mediums. There is a reason for that. I didn't have any Contact 37s, and to be honest, the Pro Grip mediums have been fantastic. They're just a little bit more expensive than the other ones. I had 2 or 3 of the others, so I've been running them. So these are older running Pro Grip mediums, but they're fantastic. Great tyre, great tyre. The other thing I did, because and the back of the car, I'll take this off and show you. Actually, I'm running at the back of the car the double O-ring spacer for the spring for the damper, and I felt on the very last round of the last race I had to change the O-ring because it was binding. It wasn't. It was. I found it difficult to describe. It was coming up and wedging itself. It wasn't returning very well. So I did 2 things. In the last race, I replaced the 2 O-rings in, because clearly if they're binding, something's not right, and I didn't have time to do any other fault finding. So I quickly replaced the 2 O-rings. But for this race, I've actually put a stiffer spring in the back. So the springs, I'm sure there's ratings on them. I'm sure technically, I'm sure the springs have better technical vocabulary that I don't know. We'll go with springiness this time, and this one is less springy than the other one that was in. So when it compresses, it returns really quite quickly. But I like that. I like knowing that it was coming back. The car seemed to be handling fine, so I was more than happy to run with it. Again, no great shakes. I wasn't running anything that is out of the ordinary for them. I do have the machine lowered pod, and I do have the motor spacer in, but other than that, straightforward car. It's one of the things I love about the platform. There's none of this faffing with the pod in the middle, everybody. Never liked that. All coming down to this. I can't affect first and second in the championship from a point of view of mathematically I'm out the equation to get first. Second might be a bit of a shout. I might be in the running for second, but third looks as though it's reasonably certain. However, that doesn't mean I'm not trying, because what I want is a day victory. So although I can't get a championship victory this time, I can get a victory of the day, and I'd really like a first place. I think I've had 3 seconds now with me Dave hot hatch, and I'd really like a first place. So trying desperately not to be the bridesmaid this time. Let's see how we get on. So here we go with Mark on pole position, myself in second place, so I've qualified not necessarily the fastest but definitely most consistent. Andy in third, he's been really quick from time to time. Then Josh with a really steady fourth place. Everything's set for a really good final, to be perfectly honest. Now remember, I can't do anything about the championship, but I'm still craving that elusive victory on the day. So that's kind of my goal. Let's see how we get on. I'm the green and yellow car in second place. Ooh, Mark delayed off the line, and I get in the middle of it all, and God, that were chaos. Right, let's have a bit of a replay of that. What happened then? So I've come up the inside of Mark there, I've got sandwiched between Andy, I've done a full 360, shunted again by Josh, shunted by Mark, and somehow I've managed to come out in second place. So at the end of the first lap, we've got Andy, Bren, Mark, and we seem to have lost Josh. Oh, a little tap there from Mark again. Bit of desperation there, because as it stands at the minute with Andy in pole and leading on track and Mark in third place, the championship is slipping through his fingers, and I think he knows it. Now his car is really quick. Whoa, trying again. All I need to do now is keep some really tight corners and lines and try to make him force the pass, because it needs to be clean. So let's see how we get on. Oh, right, and that just trying that corner a bit too tight. It opens the door for Mark. So we've still got Andy in first place, Mark in second, and I'm in third. Now I do my best now to hold on to them, because it's a 6-minute final, and 6 minutes is a long time. See, Andy has a bit of a mistake, so Mark gets through into first, so he's now leading on the road and leading in the championship. So if we can't do anything about him, he's going to wrap this up. So come on, Andy. If I can... Oh, I'm trying a bit too hard. But my car... I don't know if you noticed, my car is starting to fade. I have an issue with my my motor. It's just not fast. So I'm missing some of my turning points, because I'm expecting to be there a little bit quicker than I were, and this explains why I'm making a couple of little mistakes. Whereas if I can stay neat and tidy, you never know what might happen to the other two. So we've got Mark in first, Andy chasing him down in second, I'm in third, Josh in the yellow car has rejoined us, which is good. Although he's a couple of laps down, as I say, 6 minutes is a long time, you just never know, but my car's fading all the time. It's one of those, you don't always see it on screen, but when you were driving it, you can feel that the car just isn't accelerating the way you wanted it to, and there was just no top speed down the straight. Mark at this point was doing his best to check out away from Andy, and I think try not to overdrive the car. Oh, I see, just clipped, and that's it, I'm delayed. There's a lap down off Andy now. Yeah, let him go through. No point fighting that now. Oh, Andy has a snafu though, so, you know. Take the place back. Mark at this point, I can imagine that it's going through his head that it's don't make a mess, stay in the middle of the track, just drive quickly, but don't take too many risks. I can imagine the conversation he's having in his own head. So Andy's technically coming up to lap me, So I think I shout out in a few minutes time. I'll say, do you want to come past, and I'll let you through, you know, unchallenged. See, the car suddenly seems to pick up a little bit again then, but it's just lost all its pace from qualifying. Very strange. Again, sing the praises of me Ma Dave. It's been absolutely flawless. The car's not needed any maintenance or anything. There's a couple of things that I need to replenish. I think this is about where I shout and say, do you want to come through, Andy? And he said he was quite happy with the fact that he couldn't pass me clean. But yeah, Mark's car was just his motor and battery combination today. He was on fire with it. Yeah, back to my car. I'm running a Ma Dave. Mark's running a TWR chassis, and I think Andy is running. I think he's running a Camtech, but oh, don't quote me on that. Somebody put a comment in the bottom. And Josh is definitely running a Camtech. Oh, I'm saying that. Josh might be running a Ma Dave, I'm not sure. I know that I'm the only one that's running a Ma Dave carbon across the whole series, I think. Flying the flag for the Ma Dave brand. So here we go. For some reason, again, just tight, consistent lines. I'm not so much losing. I'm losing loads of time on that straight, but if I can stay tight and neat through the corners, you don't always have to have the fastest car. But I don't do no fighting and contesting there with Mark. Clearly the faster car, clearly coming up to lap me, so stay out of his way. And now that doesn't help. Thanks, James. James to the rescue there. Not living up to his Grinch jumper today. Oh, me and Josh have a bit of a snafu together there. Couple of mistakes and Mark's back on me. So in the space of 3 laps, he's lapped me twice. Alright, Mark, alright, I'll get out of the way. That is nothing but overexcitement. There we go. End of the race. So yeah, I got to admit I was a bit disappointed, but it was no fault of mine. The car just lost all of its pace and speed. So let's see how we get on with the next one. So a solid 3rd place, but the car was just slow. Handled like it was on rails, no issues with that. Granted, because I was getting to the corner slower than what I have been doing in qualifying, 2 or 3 silly little mistakes, just misjudging the timing on my entry points to corners. But other than that, the car handled perfectly. Just slow, just so slow down the straight. I guess there is a shelf life to these, and there's only so much WD and com drops and water bathing and all the other shenanigans that we get up to with these bloody brushless motors that they'll take, and eventually they do expire. So a huge shout out at this point to Nathan, because I can't solder for toffee. I'm all shaky and fingers and thumbs with it, and it never goes well. Soldering never seems to work well for me. I did have a spur Satan, so we'll rip this one out, threw the other spur Satan in. Again, Nathan, welding techniques, mate. Cheers, pal. And we were good to go. Don't know how quick this motor would be, but anything would be better than the other one, to be perfectly honest. So let's have a look at how we get on.
I'll see you when I catch you.
So I'm not going to commentate over this one because the commentary from Race Control was really good. So I'll let Race Control commentate over this video and get all excited for me.
Ready? This is good. Yeah. Good luck, racers. Need it for later. Yeah. Let's have an epic battle. 5 minutes. Then we have 6. Oh, it's 6. You have got 6. Mark, put the throttle, and it'll go. There you are. So a very ordinary start. Josh in the lead, maintaining lead. Brent trying to apply pressure very early on.
So this is one of the first times I've ever actually managed to sell somebody a dummy. So I've got a really good run onto the back of Josh's car there. He's gone a little bit wide. I've gone up the inside, but that puts me on the outside for the next corner. So if you see there, I jink wide to cut back on the inside, knowing I'll get the inside for the corner on the straight, and I've just made that pass. I was right pleased with a little bit of racecraft there.
Very kind of well sold friend. Andy trying to get on the action. So it's Bren first, Josh second, Andy third. All three of them are making great headway. The fastest lap in the race is Andy Lodwick with 8.90. This is incredibly tight. Bren leading, Josh second, Andy third. Less than 0.8 of a second between first, second and third. And side by side we're on the line. Oh, close. We've got a change in second place. We've got Bren first. Andy applying lots of pressure and going through.
Bit frustrated with myself over this one. So I run wide there. Andy gets a good run on me. Just follows really well behind. And I get lost following Andy's car rather than my own. So I just end up running wide there. That is right frustrating. I even shake my head, I think. Frustrated with myself, but let's crack on.
So, settling down now, and the pressure is really on. So we've got Mark leading the way in terms of fastest laps with 8.59. Then we've got Andy with 8.90. Bren with 9.09 and Josh with 9.11. And now let's see where the gap's coming down. The gap is very slightly coming down, but not a significant amount. We're down to 0.55 of a second between first and second. Oh, we have got 2.5 seconds now between second and third. The gap now is falling quickly. Marcus definitely got a bit between his teeth here. Thank you, Josh. You're very courteous. Andy's now starting to stretch his legs a bit. And just pulling away from Bren. Mark, on an absolute mission, taking 0.6 of a second out of both of them in that last lap, with a new lap record of the day of 8.53. He's now all over the back of, and almost done third to first, 3 corners. Oh, that's a big one. Oh, and we have a lot of change in here. Bren's now got the lead back at 2 minutes 50. Followed by Andy and Mark. All of a sudden now we're now wishing that the race is only 5 minutes. I'm sure Bren and Andy are both wishing that. This is a very close battle for second and third. Mark trying everything to pass cleanly, and he's coming to as far as the referee could see, there was no problems there. Yes, it was Bren's fault, he was out in the lead. Not involved in the normal chaos. So there's a small snafu from Mark and a little from Andy. That gives Bren the reprieve. Heading down the back straight, Mark is not as quick as it was on lap 2, certainly. But he's really tight on the infield, and he's all over that Bren's car. Josh, you have the lead behind you. Thank you. Marshall, please, in the middle. Corton, lead coming behind Andy, please. And second place behind you, Josh. We're going to continue to 6. Still gives us. We can't stop at 5 because the computer says no. The racing is 6 minutes. That was declared before the buzzer went. And the race is very tight. Oh my goodness, this is incredible. Come on, Thorpe. Bren with the yellow-green car down the straight, nice and neat. Has got a 1.3 second, I'm guessing 1.3, 1.4 second lead over now, with 50 seconds left on the clock. And look for the best part of 5 laps. Bren can do the new turbocharger by the look of it. Not as fast as his own Lord. But very neat and tidy. This has to be a clean room to make it stick. Mark all the back of Brendan's car. Keep it out. What a move! And that was fabulous. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Can we take the floor of this? And it's Nick coming around the line!
So there we go, a 3rd place and a 1st place, gives me 2nd place overall on the day. So again, bloody bridesmaid, not the bride, but loving the car, love the series. I've really enjoyed the series. Any of these big events that you get a chance to go to, make the effort and go to them. It's not like your local club night on a Friday or a Thursday night. There's just that bit of something that's a bit more special about them. And not only that, it gives me 3rd place overall in the championship for my hot rod. So my first sort of podium championship finish. I'm right proud of my little self for that, so that's good. Come a long way since Force. Yeah. Although I'm always nostalgic about it, I got to admit. And I really miss the Rugmasters series. I wish that would start up again, I really do. It was absolutely mega, that. And I'd love to know how I'd get on with that now, not quite knowing but the improvements I've made with my racing. I'd love to have a chance of doing all that again. Anyway, for the time being, Neo RC is where it's at, and yeah, 3rd place in the hot hatch. Now you might be wondering how I got on with the with my Carbon Mini. So I do also run, and I did do 4 events because I ran them both across to the events at times, which definitely compromised my results because I was definitely more focused with the hot hatch, a little bit of trophy hunting between me and you, than I was with the Mini. However, I still ended up in, hang on, hold on, should really have organised that beforehand, shouldn't I? I still came 10th overall with the Mini, which out of 31 races, that's not bad. It's not bad. I'm happy with that. I think if I was to concentrate on the Mini next time rather than the hot hatch, realistically, I'd like to think I'd be top 5. Not in the A's, but certainly I'd like to say I'm very competitive in the B's. Maybe the odd time I might nudge my way into the A's if everybody's having an off day, but yeah. So overall, great series. Still running me Mardave Mini, loving me Mardave Mini, loving me Mardave Hot Hatch. Happy days all round, eh? Toodle pip for now.